Este episodio es traído a ustedes por el Rincon Water Safety, el primer programa piloto establecido en Rincón para rescate de aguas abiertas, un programa de salvamento y de profesionales de rescate para proveer herramientas y proveer orientación a las comunidades para establecerlo alrededor de todo Puerto Rico. Esta organización es una sin fines de lucro y busca capacitar a las personas de las comunidades en Rincón para que puedan aprender técnicas de rescate, técnicas de salvamento y poder proveer un sistema de seguridad tanto en las áreas acuáticas de las playas como en las comunidades y hogares. El Rincon Water Safety, el mejor programa de salvamento de aguas abiertas en Rincón para todo Puerto Rico. Hawái y Puerto Rico comparten similitudes en su entorno tropical, pasado de colonización y las consecuencias del turismo masivo como la gentrificación y la pérdida cultural local. Ambos territorios también comparten una conexión histórica con Estados Unidos. Uno es un estado y otro continúa siendo una colonia de los Estados Unidos. Hoy en Desde CerO vamos a tener a dos hermanos de Hawái que por años, ya unos añitos, han implementado un proceso educativo para fomentar un programa de rescate de aguas abiertas en Rincón y en todo Puerto Rico. Que es la que hay, corillas. Aquí estamos en Desde CerO, Ramoncito y Zambrana para ustedes. Es un honor para mí estar aquí con dos hawaianos que nos visitan en esta época, pero ya nos han visitado anteriormente para dar entrenamientos a las comunidades aquí en Rincón y en San Juan y en Dorado, con el objetivo de brindar un programa o fomentar un programa de rescate de aguas abiertas que tanto falta en Puerto Rico, cuando en Puerto Rico el 85% de las personas no saben nadar. Dicho eso, este podcast por asuntos educativos y para fomentar la educación internacional lo vamos a hacer en inglés con estos hermanos hawaianos. Y antes de presentarles a los hawaianos, que para mí es un gran honor, voy a hablar un poco sobre cada uno de ellos. Aquí tenemos a Uncle Pat.
Today we join Patrick Uncle Pat Shunting, a leading risk mitigation consultant and principal of Maha Academy. He specializes in open water safety systems, emergency response planning, and enterprise-level risk strategies for education, government, and resort organizations across Hawaii, Puerto Rico, and international coastal regions. His work centers on building practice safety cultures, integrating modern emergency frameworks with local knowledge and values. Uncle Pat has helped develop community-based lifeguard training, coastal risk assessment, and open water readiness programs in some of the most dynamic ocean environments.
And we have Keaka Lime, volunteer instructor. Keaka Lime is born and raised, both of you guys are born and raised in the Hawaiian Islands on the north shore of Oahu. Is a risk mitigation specialist with over 2 decades of experience in risk mitigation. He specializes in ocean risk management and has shared, educated, and taught the IACIS process to all facets of the world. Vance, or Keaka, perpetuates the Hawaiian values as he continues to serve humanity in the world of ocean and public safety for over 20 years. So, for me, it's a great honor to present to you Keaka and Uncle Pat. Everybody applaud. What you doing, guys? How you doing? All good? Aloha.
Aloha.
There you go. Aloha, mahalo, everything. So, how you doing, Uncle Pat?
I'm doing good. I'm doing really, really good. Bien.
Muy bien. How you doing, Keaka?
Feeling good.
Feeling good?
You know, just feeling good to be here.
Nice.
Yeah.
So, first of all, thank you for, taking your time to come to the CerO. So, from the beginning, I want to talk about your origins in Hawaii.
Sure.
And, maybe a little bit of both, a little bit of your background. So we could talk to Tio Pat.
Sí.
And we call Tio Pat because Tio means respect. Tio means, wisdom guy. Tio means, like respect and knowledge. So Tio, talk about a little bit your background of Hawaii.
Sure. Well, like you mentioned, here in Hawaii and in South America, I am known as Tio Pat. In the rest of the world, I go as Uncle Pat. It is a sign. I'm honored to have received that title of respect from many people around the world, and I'm grateful. I come from the island of Kauai, actually.
Okay.
And we was raised on the west side of that island, which is Keaka. It's a very similar to Rincon.
Nice.
It is a rougher part of the island on that side there. And I grew up in our Hawaiian culture there. My family relocated to the island of Oahu. I currently live now in the town of Kailua on the east end.
Okay.
So a lot of shore break there, a lot of quick sets as far as the ocean goes, and sort of like the North Shore over here at Puerto Rico. Not as long, long periods of waves like the west side has. But I got a lot of opportunity to do some growing up in the water, a lot of boogie boarding, a lot of body surfing. That's more where I come from in that sense of the water.
Mm-hmm.
And I have a wonderful family back at home, 4 children, 3 girls and a son. They're all deeply rooted in the ocean and the water. Those values are there. They represent us coming from Hawaii. And enjoy the time here. I feel like I'm home here in Rincon, honestly. Puerto Rico gives me the very same sense of feeling of home.
Okay.
So I'm grateful to be here.
So that in the introduction, I talking about that the similarities of Hawaii and Puerto Rico.
Yeah.
Culturally, or like islanders and situation politically. And Keaka, how a little bit of your background on the North Shore, how it is to be born in Hawaii.
Yeah.
Well, first of all, thank you for having us here today. Being from the islands and coming to another island halfway across the world, the similarities are very, very close in as far as connection goes with the people here in Puerto Rico and in Rincon, with the environment, the water, the land, and how it feeds us, through our emotional status, through our physical status. It just makes us better each day when we think about it and connect with the environment. So Puerto Rico and Hawaii is very similar, and that's why I love this place. And growing up, I grew up when I was a little kid in this little farm town, not even a farm town, more like a crop town in Pineapple Town in Whitmore Village, and which was maybe 25 minutes away from the ocean. And through that, the values, of hard work, family, just being one with everybody in a community sense, and then moving later in my middle school years down to Haleiwa and growing up in that side, and again finding a new town, new people, new community. That's the values that we have in Hawaii that we cherish. And from there, being part of the ocean, we all learn how to swim at a very young age in the ocean, and it's those values that we take with us today and wherever we go.
I know you're like a fisherman too, and you like sports. And I have this photo of you like swimming there. Yeah, that connection with the water and nature.
Yeah, the connection starts from a very young age, from when that we learn from our grandparents, uncles, aunties. That the connection is really deep, especially with the local people, Hawaiians back home. We sit there on the beach staring at the ocean for minutes and hours at a time, not knowing what's happening and what there. But then later on in life, we figure out, that was the connection that we had to make as a little kid. And as a fisherman, as a surfer, you just got to be in tune and connect with that.
So you like to fish?
I love to fish. I love to fish. I love to dive. I love to eat it. The ocean is our classroom. It is our refrigerator. It feeds our family. It feeds our
Subsistence,
soul.
yes.
And that's where we bring our community.
Yeah.
Fishing is life. You know what I mean? I get to feed my family. I get to do something that I love. Feed the family, to feed the community. It's about sharing in the community. If we catch fish and we have a lot, it doesn't only stay in my house. It goes out into the community. We share with everybody around us. So.
This is you too, huh? I know, man. I know. I did my homework.
Dan.
Yeah, but
kind of
your
looks
boy
like
is
his son.
Then, yeah.
That was just a little while ago.
Yeah.
Just a little
Just
while
a tiny
ago.
bit time ago, but
You are
those are
the
the
one-
days, man.
you are the
That's
one
me
on
on the
the-
top right.
On the top right, okay.
44, yeah. Those
Okay.
are boys, yeah. Graydon and Paul.
That's where
big
where
brothers.
he was there.
That's went to Lelehu High School
Okay.
back in Wahiwa.
Okay.
That's where my roots are in high school. I lived down in the North Shore side, but I went up the hill to go to school.
Okay.
My dad told me to go to Kahuku, which is quite a drive.
Okay.
And I never made it to school. I went to the surf instead. So the next choice was up the hill away from the ocean,
Yeah, I know. This is another. It's very quick. Just to put there that you like do races on
Yeah.
this. This is like
So
very.
this is
Explain me
So
about
this is just the Molokai crossing,
Okay.
Growing up, we paddled, with team events, single events, solos. And again, trying to do everything in the ocean that we can
Okay.
is part of us.
So you travel from one island to another island?
Yes.
How long?
The distance between the Molokai Channel is about 38 miles. Yeah.
Okay, that means how many hours?
Maybe about, I think I did that, I think like 4 hours or something.
Okay,
like that.
okay,
It's not
okay.
fast, but
No, that's
the importance of that is the being in connecting with the ocean, connecting with the environment, and just being out there. Something about making that is just unbelievable.
okay.
Yeah.
Beautiful. So okay, now, Uncle Pat, when you have this connection with, I know you have a lot of line of duties.
Yeah.
And work with a lot of
Many hats.
emergency, many hats. I know. what hats we could talk about, but yeah, but I know you are in the law enforcement agencies. I know you were very connected with the security of the federal government.
Sure.
And that you have a lot of experience, and you have how you say in the movies that
I have a little time in the film industry.
In the filming industry.
I can discuss about that, no problem.
Okay. So yeah, how do you say that the people that do the
Stunts.
stunts.
Yeah.
Stunt.
So you're doing stunts stuff, I know. So what can you explain to us about your line of duties, and your connect with the water security and
Sure.
all the rescue?
Sure.
Yeah.
Well, I got over 30 years of experience in coastal, operating, law enforcement, etc., and things that we're going through. So I would say, just to recap a little bit, I spent some time in my youth, growing up in from scratch.
From scratch.
Okay, from scratch.
Yeah.
Very hardworking family. Grandfather and father. My grandfather is in Ortiz from Puerto Rico. And I don't know the exact roots here. I'm here to reattach myself to my roots here in Puerto Rico.
So you have genetics from.
Yeah, I have genetics from here. Yeah,
Okay.
definitely. And I'm deeply, this connection here with Hawaii and Puerto Rico is seamless for me. The first time I landed here in 2019, I spent some time here under one of those hats, and I just didn't want to go home because I felt like this was my home. It was super, super hard to go home.
Okay.
So yeah, I do have roots here. Ramencito, just to let you know that our they're very meaningful to me, very, very meaningful.
Okay.
But I did get some good work ethic, from these hardworking ethnicities that I have. I have a mixed culture of Puerto Rican, Hawaiian, Portuguese, and Chinese, and the work ethic was really ingrained young, from scratch, right? From young, to work hard, do what you can do, and survive. So just like Puerto Rico, a lot of people here are always just trying to survive, right? And in that process, I grew up in different walks of life, and eventually most of it was about serving others. And so the service was just natural. I'm here to serve Puerto Rico. In that sense, I started in different fields of life, in construction, and then I went into some work in law enforcement as a young officer. I did some stuff there, learned about a lot about security, a lot about risk assessing, and had an opportunity to go from one type of career to another, and as an environmental Department of Land and Natural Resources officer over here in Puerto Rico. That would be your DNR.
Oh, really? Okay.
Yeah, that's your DNR. So, I lived a life with Keaka in that field and in protecting the resources of Hawaii. And that was a very passionate time of my life to do that. In there, we had so many opportunities to have chances to go from being on the operations side of providing that type of safety for others out there, and then growing in that, growing as far as, even to the point, like you mentioned, federal service. So we had an opportunity, both myself and Keaka, to serve our nation, and that happened to be with first some very special people that go out and protect our freedoms in the military, with the Navy SEALs and other people in different places, and we got to introduce, some of the stuff that we're bringing to Puerto Rico as far as water safety. Although it was water safety, the use of the PWC or the jet ski has a very different use for us when we're talking of serving, the leader of the free world. Yeah.
I got a photo here. What is this?
Well, that's family.
Yeah,
That's Ohana right there. That is the trust that Barack Obama had, and myself and Keaka Lime, to protect him, but also to protect more importantly, to protect his family. And so when you get to that point that I feel we're servants to others, and he could see that we were there to really protect more so his family. His most precious, things in life was his wife and his children.
Okay, so to be specific, you were in charge of the security in the water of the president of the United States.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's what it is.
Yes.
Yeah, it is difficult to speak about it.
I know.
We try to be what we call ha'a,
like humble.
There you go.
Yeah, but Tio, that this is very important to know, because the great knowledge and the great wisdoms and the experience to be in that environment of self-awareness and
yes,
and responsibility is good to know.
Yeah.
So can you maybe talk about a little bit of the line of duty, not whatever you want to talk about, but a little bit of that experience?
Sure. We'll keep that in the safe parameter.
Yeah.
I can share that we had both myself and Keaka rotating over the years had a chance to be in charge of a maritime protective detail.
Okay.
Right. And so he has United States Secret Service agents, and there's a division in there that's called the Presidential Protective Detail, and so we are part of a maritime Presidential Protective Detail.
Okay, nice.
That we got to create, actually, right? And that was through the use of the MRV or the ARC, Advanced Rescue Craft, that we're doing here in Puerto Rico. At that time, it was a maritime reconnaissance vessel. It was a different use, and we were able to create this protective zone for him and his family. Yeah.
Okay. And okay, so this all, I know you have a lot of other work experience, duties, and we could we could talk hours of
probably
that experience. But all this knowledge that you have in the stunt industry, in the security industry, in the maritime industry, security, all this experience, then you become part, and you both become part of other concept, more international and more educational part. Keaka, how do you start to be involved with all these all these ventures?
That was a really good question.
That is a good.
It's going to talk about a little string.
It all started from Tio and I working together, right? And picking his brains and being with him. It all started off with the MRV training or ARC training with the founders of the rescue craft.
Yeah.
Uncle Terry, Uncle Brian, Uncle Mel. It was those founders who I got to experience sitting behind the craft of each one of them and listen to what they taught, and the learning through that, just by listening and performing and doing over and over and over again, and countless hours. Both of us did that. And there's this little string attached to these guys. I would like to call them a little thread that I attached myself to each and one of these four founders, and eventually I got those strings. I got to wind it up together, and eventually got thicker and bigger and bigger and bigger. And today, I have this big, very, very big fat rope that these guys can get rid of. I can't get rid of me anymore, And so years later, find myself connected to this man right here in the symbiotic world that we have together, and these adventures that we're going on, educating the world,
transitioning
and educating people throughout the world, becomes a worldwide thing, and it's been beautiful. It's a beautiful ride. It's a wave that goes on forever, and keep going until it stops me.
When I first met you, it was I think was 2021. You were here in Rincon to give all the knowledge on the water security, water safety in surf. And here the Tres Palmas crew is very vocal when Tres Palmas are breaking, and the community are aware of these boys, and
all the time,
every
part of the world.
So when I met you, I wasn't too much in the detail of the water safety security, but when I start listening to you guys and listen to you, Tio, okay, this is more than serious. This is another spiritual thing going on. And that Hawaiian Hawaiians to give knowledge and wisdom to us is very, very important to us. I see it like very spiritual thing going on. And after that, I changed my mentality. So what is the experience and around the world about the water safety? How will the community react with the water safety around the world?
Ramosito, when if I can just track a little bit back towards the string that Keaka talked about, that became a twine and a little thicker and thicker, these were pearls of wisdom that we were attaching ourselves to, right? And we went from the point of being the person that was serving and doing, the protection of others through safeguards and measures that were there. But we found holes here and there, and we wanted to make that better. We wanted to look at these systems that were in place, and when you're protecting the commander of the free world, you need to be there, right? But it wasn't just him. because really we were protecting his kids, his family, because we own that type of responsibility, that type of kuleana, right? And that servitude led us to, like, how do we make things better? How can we better ourselves, and how can we be better servants to others in protecting them? And then so we went from being the people that were protecting them to looking at those policies and procedures that were in place, and how can we better them? If it had to do with equipment, we looked at, designing equipment that made the ski, the standard, recreational craft of a jet ski. How could we take that jet ski and add things to it to make it change the use, to make it now a strategic tool to be used in, say, lifeguarding, right? From lifeguarding to the military, for them as a tool, strategic tool for them, or a surgical tool for them to implement some type of mission that they needed to execute, right? And so we helped develop some of the things that are on the ski. We helped develop some of the programs and policies to make sure that some of the right tools and the right equipment are there to serve. And so we kind of transitioned from being the people that were doing the work to being the people that needed to come up with better policies and procedures so that others can do the work and more people can do the work.
Okay.
Right? And then we kind of rode in with Uncle Brian Kilalana, introduced me into BWRAG, right? That Big Wave Risk Assessment Group, which is how I initially came to Puerto Rico. Mm-hmm. At that point, I had jumped into BWRAG, and we wanted to make it better, because we're always looking to make things better.
Okay.
Right? So we took BWRAG, and we went from its simple and most meaningful source of coming from the barn in the North Shore of Hawaii, right, to a group of professional surfers. And from a group of professional surfers, we went off into, we need to share this knowledge to everybody,
okay,
not just the surfers, right? And then from the surfers, we wanted to share it to the community members and to create surf responders. So more people, right, in the lineup to be able to learn how to save people. Then we rolled over into, much bigger things that we're doing now. Is now we're here as those individuals that are subject matter experts to help create the framework of safety and then implement it into larger communities. And so our goal and our vision here is to, like, get Puerto Rico to have a lifeguarding program. I mean, back in, I don't know, a couple of years ago when we were training,
mm-hmm,
we trained the Trace Promise crew who you're talking about. This is where it kind of like started, right? It was like that passion was like, everything that I was told was, we can't do it here. We can't do this. We can't do that. We can't have a lifeguard. There's no support.
Yeah.
And so, from scratch.
From scratch. I got a little clip here.
Yeah.
I got a little clip here. I want to share
Aloha. Here we are. We're in Rincon. We're at the Marina. We're out here. BWRAG is out here to assist the
That was the
Rincon
days.
Water Safety program. We are supporting the opportunity to build and create a lifeguard services that will service Rincon here. The community is in need of this kind of opportunity. We have great community members that are out there that are going to be on the water patrol team here, learning the advanced rescue craft skill sets. Brought to you straight from the core of Hawaii.
That's the man.
Uncle Brian Kilalana, Uncle Terry Hui, and Tio and Keaka right here, sending it.
Yeah.
So that was part of the the training I received from you guys. This is some clips I think was from Jorgito Rivera and Jorge.
Yes.
Yeah. So this is a classic video of part of the training that you give us here in Rincon. And it was a great experience, and that's really the objective that you are now giving to us, all this knowledge with the Rincon Water Safety.
Yes.
Okay. So
that was a drive, brother.
Yeah.
We went hard and deep there, because it just had to happen.
It had to happen. So, okay. I tell in the introduction, here in Puerto Rico, the 85% of Puerto Rican doesn't know how to swim.
Yeah, I mean.
And it's because the generations from the 50s, the 60s, all that time, said to us or said to our grandparents and to our parents that don't go to the beach, that's dangerous. So when we are an island, we have to to deal with that risk.
There has to be some cultural connection, okay? There has to be some I was shared about the indigenous people here, right? And I don't know all the indigenous people here. I only know a little bit about the Tahinos, right? And I'm searching. I'm hoping that somebody out there, maybe they hear this in this podcast and they're able to share with you and share back to me. There has to be some type of connection where the water was definitely part of their lives, their natural lives. This is an island. In Hawaii, right, we had the people that lived by the shoreline. They fished. They did all the agriculture down there, and they co-shared with the people that lived in the mountains. The people in the mountains shared what their produce and their livestock with the ones on the shoreline. It has to be here, Ramancito.
Yeah, it has to be here. So
I heard, sorry, not to cut you off, but I heard something where, I guess how Puerto Rico, at one point in time, they were, in the middle of the island, and I guess there was at high ground, they could fend off everybody else.
I think this is when they were just trying to protect themselves.
Yeah,
themselves,
right? But culturally, our Indians come of South America. Yeah, they come here in canoes.
Just like Hawaii.
Just like Hawaii.
So we're all connected, brother.
Yeah. And then, but the establishment really put to us like this bubble that we have not, water is dangerous. Don't go out there. Yeah. So we have to change that mindset.
It's just knowledge.
Just knowledge, and I think that we have to bring this to all the people in Puerto Rico, the government, the public area, the private area, and that's part of it. So Rincon Water Safety is an initiative of the community that want to really make a model program here, a pilot program in Rincon to spread out through the island. And you are part of it.
Yes.
You are bringing all that knowledge.
100%.
Yeah.
100.
Thank you for that.
200%.
Yeah. And the locals here in Puerto Rico.
We are we're on the advisory board for Rincon Water Safety, right? We're there, myself and Keaka, to guide and help Rincon Water Safety push this effort forward. And we're not going to stop, no matter what.
Nice. So I know that locals here in Puerto Rico, surfer locals, lifeguard locals, everyone that have that connection with the water needs to stand up and be involved with this initiative. It's growing, little by little, but the locals have to step forward and have to, really take a stand with the Rincon Water Safety and receive this knowledge. And I know Rincon Water Safety wants to put this available for the community.
Yeah. Right.
So what is your, how do you see Rincon Water Safety?
I guess the vision, I'm going to let Keaka chime in a second, if I can share. I think the vision that we co-share is that knowledge goes out to everybody. Mm-hmm. Okay, so they got some great programs. They're starting with the Beach Guardian program, and they're educating the community, right? They're moving into a lifeguard program, right? That's going to start January 2026, a collaborative effort with the government, right? Where it's going to be, the focus there is to make that sustainable, right? And that's where we're going to give all the help that we can to Rincon Water Safety so that they can make that sustainable. Once that is shown and there's some proof of concept that's there, right? Then we need to move that to the next community, and the next community, and the next community. I was just talking to some people in San Juan that lived not in San Juan, in another area, and they were communicating with me this morning, and I was telling them, we're going to Rincon to follow through with this effort that we have of creating that type of program, this lifeguarding program here in Rincon, and I know that one day that program's going to hit your community in Puerto Rico, and it's going to save somebody's life.
Okay, beautiful.
Yeah. No, I was just kind of going off and talking about the same points that Uncle Pat and Tio was saying about education, and changing the culture is the biggest thing. And if we can change the culture through education and education of the ocean, teaching them how to swim, doing these lifeguard programs, doing these, changing it from the kids, all these junior lifeguard programs, implementing that, and which is what RWS, or Rincon Water Safety, has these programs to do, and then start to implement. That'll change the culture from within, starting at the level of our kids and our keikis, and that will soon, over the years, grow in multitude, and change that culture of how people view the ocean, as not as something dangerous, but as something that they can control, within their environment and in themselves, and use it more as a playground.
Part of their life. Normal part of their life.
Yeah.
I got some clips about, let me see if I can put this for a moment. Let me put it again. I know that Tio wants to give hard time for the training.
wait. You give Keaka and me a chance to explain. When you say hard time, we have a different definition of what's being executed if you're going to show this video.
I just put it there. But
I'm gonna let Tio Keaka over here explain what we're introducing to. They have to.
So in this training, we obviously can see we're in this very calm and protected area.
It's a static environment.
It's a very static environment.
It's flat.
And what you see right there is us creating stress. We're inducing stress in this area. In a dynamic, adding that into a dynamic road so they can perform at a different level. So.
Because our people here, they have to be at the highest level. Right?
That's part of it. I got another clip here. This is explain. I don't know. This is one of it that okay, you step off and you swim to the victim, to the one that is in problem. So it's like many types of situations, scenarios that you put the training program to the ones that taking the training program, because you want to be in that scenario. It's like you tell the other day, the stress go up, the dangers go up, your focus go in that direction, so you're losing other senses.
Oh, that's correct.
Other senses.
Oh, you're paying attention.
Yeah. So that situation and pass very quickly.
Yes.
When a stressful moment comes.
Right.
So that's type of the maneuvers of the training program that you put us there. It's a very great experience in training. So I think that Rincon Water Safety could be a tool to expose this type of training to the community and be accessible to the people. I know that needs to have a jet ski or whatever, but that's part of the program.
That's a good point that you brought up there, Ramosito, because over the years, as we've been training this type of program, particularly when it comes to the jet ski, right? So if you're the general public and you're on the outside and you're just looking, it looks like people are just having a blast out there, doing all these maneuvering, and it like tourists, I guess. And I seen that here in Puerto Rico in certain parts, and that is not what we're doing, right? I want the community to understand that when you see Rincon Water Safety, and specifically that would be the water patrol guys that are on the ski, would be Rincon's water patrol. They are people that have elevated themselves to higher skills, and they're training at a really high level to be able to execute saving somebody's life in the worst conditions. We have to do these maneuvers in a static environment so they can operate outside in a dynamic environment.
So we talk about in our training about risk takers and risk technicians, and they both look the same, but the end result is different. How we get there is a different process. And I think that's where that separates the perception from the community looking down at people training and doing things in the ocean and doing it in the water, like, you know, like those training videos that you just showed, the perception is like, what are these guys doing? You know, why are they playing around? But in essence, when you look at them, hey, these guys have all red shirts. They must be some kind of a professional entity, you know. Then they get closer, they see Rincon Water Safety, and then they kind of realize, you know, we start educating the community into what exactly are they doing and how they're training, and to leveling these guys up to a higher level.
That's right. I just put a photo of my brother.
That's right.
Hey, look at that.
doing an exercise there of rescue with me, and I think that's Ramses. So, Tio, what is the approach to the government to be involved with the Rincon Water Safety and you guys?
Yeah, well, Rincon Water Safety has a current MOU, a Memorandum of Understanding, that they have established with the DNR, which is a great opportunity for that collaborative effort of putting in these type of safety framework processes like lifeguarding, rescuing, training opportunities, environmental protections, right? So the government will have, they have an opportunity already. They have been invited and into an opportunity to train with us here and with Rincon Water Safety. And so they'll be able to learn these skill sets as well, because you have, again, I was a DNR officer myself, right? I rode the jet ski in Hawaii, and I protected, you know, the state of Hawaii and the waters around it, just like your DNR guys do here. They actually are really important individuals that can assist the community out there. And so we want this, they have an opportunity to be collaborative and work with us so they can see the understanding of both sides of the private sector that is providing the services of safety out there and connecting the government sector, so they can seamlessly have that safety framework from scratch, from the beginning to the end, right?
And the government has the equipment, so they have the equipment available.
Yeah.
They got the jet ski?
Yes,
Okay.
yeah. So DNR has jet skis. I think your rescue department, rescate, have jet skis, which we call advanced rescue craft, right? So let's remember now, it's not just a jet ski.
Yeah.
It's a tool that they use to perform life-saving opportunities. They also use it for their work in environmental enforcement of rules and regulations inside of the waters of Puerto Rico, and they use it for Coast Guard uses it. The rescue people use it in Hawaii. Our fire departments use it. Our lifeguards use it. The DNR uses it.
Okay.
All kinds of communities use it.
Okay, I'm gonna say something. This is me telling you.
Sure.
Okay. Tenemos todo esto en el gobierno, pero no lo utilizamos. We don't use it the right way. Right now, we have the equipment, but we don't have the knowledge in the governmental side. And we need to put this knowledge on these agencies that could provide security, rescue in our waters. There's so many drownings here in Puerto Rico. Yeah. There's so many necessity to have lifeguards and water rescue maybe in 4 or 5 areas, very difficult when this serve. So I think that your knowledge have to be, with these agencies, and the agency have to be proactive. Yes. They have to have the initiative to really take care of it and develop this program with the help of you. Okay, Keaka. In Hawaii, you have lifeguards.
Yes.
The lifeguards is attached to what agency in
the
Hawaii?
County.
So emergency.
The lifeguard, they're attached to the emergency services system in Hawaii. So it's a city and county services.
Like a municipality.
Like a municipality in Puerto Rico.
Okay, so, and you train the lifeguards of Hawaii? You are part of the training program, or you already trained them?
They now have their in-house program.
Okay.
So they train their own.
Okay.
Right? They learn from Brian Keolana, Terry Hui, Mel Pu'u, who used to be the head of the lifeguard agency there. So they train for years already. They have their own program. And that's what we're here to do, is to help Rincon Water Safety have their own internal program. Remember, this is Puerto Rico serving Puerto Rico. Mm-hmm. Myself and Keaka, we're just here to help That's it.
That's
right?
it. Yeah, but the wheel is already made in
Yes.
Hawaii.
Yes.
You know, if we only have to adapt the same programs and the same system that you
Yes.
have in Hawaii. It's
So-
only to make it criollo here in Puerto Rico.
Right.
What do you think?
So years ago,
close.
we're pretty close. Puerto Rico is pretty close with the connection of RWS and the state government. Back in 2006, 2007 is when I'm still working as a state officer, right? And part of our job is to utilize the rescue craft for our water patrols. What Uncle Tio Pat was talking about. And back then it was us implementing this tool into our program. And once we got the trainings from Uncle Brian, Uncle Terry, we got the training, lifeguard trainings, and then we used the craft as a tool to do our jobs as far as enforcing the different rules and regulations on the resources, protected areas, the marinas, and then also now a collaborative effort in saving lives.
Okay.
Out there in the ocean. Just recently, like last year, our Marine Patrol guys got awarded for, a certificate for saving a tourist, who practically drowned. And our Marine Patrol guys were there, before the lifeguards, and they got to save and rescue those guys, So it's a collaborative effort. Once you get more people in the water, like how we was talking about, where we're creating more community responders, Everybody has a duty, everybody has the kuleana, their responsibility to be there and to help and assist when needed.
But there's a couple different lanes, Ramosito, I want to explain to you, because I see the passion and understand what you want. Now, I'll be frank. We just almost had an opportunity to train the DNR of Puerto Rico in San Juan. So we just finished the training. And they were trying really hard to be a part of that process, right? So let's give them some credit. Let's give them some credit for making the attempts to reach out to Rincon Water Safety and get the training. They will get trained. We will be here for you to train you when that time is right and it's available for the government to re-engage with Rincon Water Safety. We're here. They just got to make a phone call. We'll be right back here. We'll provide that training to them. But on the other side of that, some of these lanes, responsibilities, I just want to share with you is like the DLNR, which is DNR here in Puerto Rico. It is not their job specifically to be a lifeguard. That's not their job now. Okay, their job is to go out there and provide these protections of these environmental rules and regulations. They use this jet ski as a tool doing those jobs.
Okay.
So I believe your rescate or your rescue department here on the emergency side, that's their job. That's their lane.
Okay.
So it's a collaborative effort that we want to have a brotherhood or sisterhood of all of us having the same knowledge so we can help each other.
Yeah, I think
Okay.
civil defense. I think
Yeah.
there is La Defensa Civil is like an agency of rescue in Puerto Rico.
Yeah.
The firefighters, maybe in the civil defense agency could could go there. But if the DRNA have the equipment, they have to need to receive this opportunity and to and to take it. I have a clip here the other day in San Juan that we were there.
Yeah, we were training.
En El Morro, ahí en la bahía de San Juan,
Yeah.
in the San Juan Bay. It was a great experience, with you guys, and really cool. And I think that I know that really you are doing this, with real responsibility, with real passion,
Yes.
with real solidarity
Yes.
with our country.
Definitely.
So
For sure.
I want really to thank you.
Yeah.
To
No problem.
to have that mission with us. And we receive it, with humbleness, but with a real responsibility.
Sure.
So
I understand.
So thank you for that, Tio and Keaka. And I want to tell you that here in Puerto Rico, the surf community, they're very aware of the surfing contest, all that.
Mm-hmm.
And there is a huge event, very traditional event in Hawaii, that is the Aikau event.
Mm-hmm.
It's an event of big wave surf, very traditional, because Eddie Aikau was a lifeguard and was a rescue lifesaver, no?
Yes.
And he gave his life to help others, and that's the tradition.
Yeah.
So I know you are part of the
Another hat.
Another hat.
Another hat.
Yeah. And I know you're part of these great Hawaiian water patrols.
Yeah.
Hawaiian water, you are the guys that really take care of the surfing community and the surfers in the event of
Yes.
Eddie Aikau in Waimea Bay. Mm-hmm. Waimea Bay is big wave surf. How you were? This is your first time doing that, or no. That's not the way. So
that's okay.
How many times you are being involved with the event?
Yeah.
Keaka?
Well, growing up on the North Shore, the Eddie is like the biggest thing. It's bigger than the Super Bowl for us.
It is.
It's huge. It's
Super
bigger than
Bowl,
the Super Bowl, bigger than the World Cup of soccer, the World Series. That's our little thing, actually big thing in Hawaii. And of course, every big wave surfer, whoever's invited to this thing is such a honor to be there, even if it and there's so many layers of this event when it happens. From days before, everybody's talking to everyone. Uncle Terry, these guys are calling everybody, trying to figure out.
The preparation is you can't even imagine the logistics on that.
Trying to call the swell on the specific timing.
Oh my gosh.
Period. Angle, degree. It's a science.
Yeah.
And a science that, they go back to Uncle Terry and like, hey, you think it's gonna go or not? and that's where it's it's very inspirational and spiritual, where they still go back to the guys who have the connection with the ocean to say, hey, is it gonna go or is it not? And just being a part of it in either way, shape or form is tremendous.
Yeah.
No, I'm
crazy.
Keaka, I'm telling you, we were watching this live.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Every surfer in the world, I think, is like looking at this event. Like, okay, they're going with the Eddie. It's on.
Yeah.
So everybody's like looking at that, and I see you in one of the clips, and I said, "That's Keaka. I know him, brother. He's there right now." It
is.
What's the experience?
I mean, it's one of the most rewarding opportunities for me, second only to being able to serve the community of Macau at their contest. But this contest right here there's so much more involved inside of what the Hawaiian Water Patrol offers to the Eddie. We got our forefathers of Uncle Brian Keolana, Uncle Terry Ahui, and when we stand behind that greatness there to provide that services out there, when you see Keaka and me on the beach over there at the Eddie, being there in that presence and that type of energy, the Eddie is just not about big waves. It's about a big responsibility. It's a huge kuleana on our shoulders to guide and direct our youthful members that are going out in the water to go ahead and provide that guardian angel service to the big wave surfer. They won't go out unless we're there. They will go out, but they feel way more comfortable and understanding that we're going to save their lives, so they're willing to take that type of risk.
Yeah, it's that spiritual celebration of courage. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? And these guys are giving up their lives and sacrifice, too. And love.
Every drop.
You know what I mean? And it's every single drop of energy and comes from them,
Yeah.
And it's amazing to see.
I cannot imagine the, behind closed doors, the logistics that you have to put on through. And, to put there, only to put the jet skis before, all the logistics. And when I see Uncle Clyde Aikau, putting through, and I know this is a photo of Eddie and Clyde.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
This is the brothers, you know.
Yes.
And it's very. I remember the first time that I see the Eddie Aikau was in 1986. I think Clyde Aikau won it. And I think it was the second time or first time they did it. And I remember block leader, very young.
Yeah.
It was huge. And but there wasn't a security like that in those days.
No, they had to just paddle out.
Yeah.
They just paddled
Not
out.
in that capacity. Nobody had flotation devices. Nobody had nothing.
There wasn't much safety around the event, right? But they had grown up in a world of water, right? And so they learned how to survive in water and to be able to drop down.
Yeah, this is Eddie Aikau without a leash, you know. Without
Exactly.
Nothing. Look.
So he had to swim for that board.
Yeah.
Right. So the skills, their level, their physical abilities were just huge.
Amazing.
Yeah. I want to take a moment to really pass a message to the Aikau family.
Yes.
Because of the loss of Uncle Clyde.
Yeah.
And this is the traditional
Paddle out.
Yeah. How do you call it?
It's a traditional paddle out.
The traditional paddle out.
Yeah.
And here's Clyde Aikau. Ohana.
It's our celebration of life to him.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
So yeah.
Mahalo.
Mahalo.
But-
So
Like I got goosebumps.
yeah,
just
for
thinking about it.
sure. And so that's a great put in place a great effort of security and life saving in a situation of a great event. And I know I saw some, talking about the life saving in Hawaii. Those lifesavers, those lifeguards, they really sacrifice their lives in situations that, I saw some clips of situations very, very complicated, and they swim and they, they took, they save lives. They save lives. Now taking to the end of the podcast, what messages you want to give us, Keaka, and then we go to Tio Pat.
Working with Rincon Water Safety, it's a family, and from the first time I got here in Rincon, the connection that I had with all the Tres Palmas guys and the boys, it was a very, very, very close connection to me. I felt the same love and values that you guys have, the respect that you guys have here, the respect for one another, and the brotherhood, just makes it. I don't know, like Uncle Pat, it's undescribable of the feeling that I have with the crew, and the challenges that you guys have and they have moving forward. All these barriers that they have is, we're breaking down these barriers, and I see it. It's happening. It's gonna happen, and Rincon Water Safety is going to be, in front of changing the culture here in Puerto Rico, through the little communities, through the government, and making this place safe. So I'm just happy to be here on the wave with them, and very proud and inspirational of these guys and their stories and the fight that they have to make things happen here. I see it, I feel it spiritually with these guys, and I'm just thankful.
Nice.
Yeah.
Nice. And you, Uncle Pat?
Geez, I guess I want to recap the adventure for me that's going to continue. 2019, come in here with a passion to share just a little bit of knowledge to people. That grew into inciting Greg Carson, to wanting to serve Rincon, right? And then creating Rincon Water Safety. Greg took that to different levels because, he had personal experiences of tragedy. We don't want to forget that the framework of safety in water is built on somebody's life, right? We lost somebody. We lost a dear friend, a brother, a sister, a family member, in any body of water, right? And so we have to honor them, coming from our past and that experience, and take it to the Greg Carsons around the world, To start Rincon Water Safety here was a dream, a thought, a vision. Then there was execution done, and then to have that feeling just flowing, right? That energy coming out, and it swelled in me so much, like a big swell coming in. Like Trace was just getting ready for season, right? Just feeling that energy from underneath, connected in the ocean, building up to wanting to train the boys, right? And let's give credit to the Trace Promise crew, right? To Kahuna,
definitely,
and Alex, Tomas, and you, and everybody else. I don't want to miss names, but the Trace Promise crew, they that's a hardcore bunch of men and women, right? Lizette coming out here and just being willing to listen, and then changing their mentality and thought process, and owning the responsibility to protect Trace Promise.
Beautiful words. And this episode is gonna be in memory of Bobby O.
Okay.
He passed away not long time ago, and Carson was there.
Yeah.
Like always. And it was a tragedy with this surfer, a very kind surfer, from Massachusetts. But he come very, very often to Rincon, very good friend of mine. And Bobby O is one of our soldiers that was down, But now he's in the energy water there.
Yeah, we'll continue.
We continue. And okay, before end, what is that hat that you have, Uncle Pat? Tell me about it.
Okay, so Tio has now moved on from these different hats in my life, these different occupations, these different places that I got a chance to serve others, into a phase now. I have Ma'a Academy, right? And so the word Ma'a in Hawaiian is to have some knowledge about something, and that's that knowledge that I want to continue to pass on and share. And so there's a seabird, the Eva bird in Hawaii, it's called an Eva.
Yeah, that's a tijetera in Puerto Rico.
In Puerto Rico, the tail. And so that Eva bird is connecting us, the water people of the world, together. That Eva bird is connecting us, again, to that water people of the world. But it also represents, if you look at it a little bit better, zooming in, it's got some peaks, and each peak represents a mountain, right? So if you had a mountain range, and then you had in the middle is a waterfall coming down. So the peak is Tio Pat on one side's knowledge, and Keaka's knowledge on the other side. And as you bring them together, our knowledge is flowing down, right, to everybody else.
Wow, what a beautiful message there, brother. It's a symbol of knowledge, wisdom, and love, and solidarity. So that's pretty cool to that new hat.
It's the phase we're in. We're here sharing this knowledge, and again, just to culminate, we're going to share this knowledge to all of Puerto Rico.
Okay.
Right?
So that's good to know. I want to end this with this hug that my brother gave you last time.
That's the kind of love that I feel for Puerto Rico, and that's how I feel exactly, right? I gotta have some Taino in me, and I'm here to stay, brother.
So thank you, Tio Pat. Gracias por estar aquí en Desde Cero. Gracias, Keaka, por venir acá. Ha sido un placer. It's a pleasure to have you here. it's the first time, but it's not going to be the last.
Not the last.
So
Not the last.
I'm pretty. Today we're gonna go to the 21 anniversary. Vamos a estar celebrando hoy el 21 aniversario de la designación de la Reserva Marina de Tres Palmas aquí en Playa María. Y entonces el Rincon Water Safety, Tio Pat y Keaka van a estar allí también, jangueando con nosotros. Así que gracias por haber estado en este episodio. Aquí más del Rincon Water Safety. En muchos otros episodios más. Así que ahí lo tenemos. Nos vemos en la próxima, corillos. Cuídense mucho.